What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Your boy P. Welsh here, bringing to you UFC Fight Night. Derek Lewis versus Teixeira. July 12th, a little bit out there, recording this early from Nashville, Tennessee. Happy 4th of July, everybody watching out there. 3-9 week, International Fight Week dominated me. Would have changed a couple picks in hindsight, but at the end of the day, I got rocked. Worse than Charles Oliveira, so starting off here, hopefully get a couple dubs. Fatima Klein versus Melissa Martinez, women's strawweight, 7-1 versus 8-1. Klein's got a 4-inch height advantage, 1 inch on the reach, and I think she's a pretty big. She's a heavy favorite here. Yeah, I actually grabbed this up here. Yeah. So yeah, we're just gonna run sign seal delivered that. If Martinez knocks her out, go be it. You can't handicap heart, desire, and want. Maybe she's got a chance. Absolutely, she does. I wouldn't, there's always a chance, but for the official picks right now, we got to get back on the train here. We're not gonna overcomplicate it. I really like to see what Martinez can do. I definitely think she has a puncher's chance, man. I really do. She can just catch a hand somewhere. Maybe that's her win condition, but let's just see what happens. I'm not really super excited about this fight, but maybe if Martinez can catch an upset would be the best way to watch the fight. Let's go, baby. Let's just move on to another one. Lightweight bout, Mitch Ramirez versus Mike Davis. We got Mitch Ramirez 8-2 versus Mike Davis 11-3. Both guys coming off a loss. Mike Davis 1-inch reach, 1.5 inch reach, 1 inch height advantage. And how is this not Mike Davis? Mike Davis' last loss was to Zayam. He's a pretty solid fighter. Definitely had an advantage too. In terms of his length in this division. I like Mike Davis a lot. I'm excited to see him fight. Hopefully he's healthy, makes a nice solid walk to the octagon, maybe catches a finish, earns himself a bonus. Big Mike Davis fan. Mitch Ramirez. I want to call him Rodriguez, but 32, 8-2. Getting finished by Thiago Moises and Carlos Prates in his 2 UFC fights. In his 1 UFC fight, Prates was on the Contender Series, so yeah. That's what we're looking to see here. Mike Davis by finish. Mike Davis inside the distance. I don't know if Mike really would get a sub in there. Sometimes those subs just come in weird places. Who did it last week? Jacoby Smith, 0 takedown attempts, but you get a submission. Sometimes triangle arm choke. That's Mike Davis on the resume. Mike Davis all day, baby. Ooh, very exciting fight here. Heavyweight bout. Kennedy Zinchenko versus Walter Walker. Kennedy on a nice run here, 14-5 versus Walter, 13-1. He lost his debut, coming off 2 wins here. Pretty even matchup here. Kennedy with a reach advantage, definitely with a striking advantage, and be interesting to see the kind of weight that Kennedy comes in with against Walter. He's been kind of leaning out, getting super explosive. I think these are going to be 2 very lean heavyweights coming in there. For the most part, 2 of these guys very big, not coming close to the limit. And I think Walter's being coming off 2 submission wins, but he's going against a couple freaking tires, dude. Kennedy's a little bit more svelte, a little bit better defense, a little bit better striking, better base. I think he's probably a good favorite for the win. But I like Walter's opportunity. At this point, I really just feel like Kennedy's just down for a loss after a couple. Chris Barnett and Lucas Bresky, not exactly he pulled out of the Martin Budai fight. Nobody ever checked on him until he's fighting Walter. I'm a little worried now. So I kind of like Walter by cheeky submission. I think is very live here. I think he could present just a surprise factor and explosiveness that Kennedy really just hasn't fought the last couple fights. And I'm actually, as I think about it now, I'm going Walter Walker with the upset here. I'm fading Kennedy at this point. This is what it's more of a fade of Kennedy than anything else. I think Walter can get pieced up at distance and take the L for sure, but I'm just going to go rocking with him. Kennedy just making a mistake. Because he's not perfect, bro. He's made plenty of mistakes in the octagon. Now, he doesn't doesn't lose that much, but does have a few losses in the UFC. And I think Walter's going to present something that he just really hasn't had to deal with. And especially being this big. Walter is pretty 6, so I'm going Walker here. I think he can get the decision even by takedowns, and he's live for a sub. Kennedy's win condition is keeping on the feet though the whole time, and trust in the conditioning. This is an exciting fight, man. I love this. I love this matchup because Kennedy's only a few matches at heavyweight too. So let's see how he handles it. If he can move as well, and Walter's kind of slimming down. So let's go Walter Vaga. Next up, women's flyweight, lucky Lauren Murphy, 16-6 against Eduarda Moria, 11-1, coming off a win. And yeah, you watch Lauren Murphy's last fight. I can't believe she got another fight here. So Eduarda Moria all day and twice on Sunday. I can't believe this is a real fight. I'd probably take the KO on Mora. I don't know how Murphy can handle taking all the damage that she'll probably end up having to take. I mean, the last fight Andrade, just go watch that. It's gonna get stopped. I like Moria by KO here, by finish. I mean, I don't think she'll get subbed out. She has no sub losses, but I just think at some point, I just think her reaction time is gonna be so slow. At 41 years old, she's just gonna get volumed up. The refs are just gonna stop it. You know, unless it's Herzog or Herb Dean in there, they might let her die in there. But at the end of the day, Moria is only losses to Nice Gomes by split decision. Otherwise, she's probably an absolute monster of a favorite, you know, that there are already on this card. You know, how many plus 700s and 1,000s here? I don't know if this is one to get too cute on. But yeah, this is a spot I like Eduardo Moria all day and every day on Sunday. I think you can probably get her in the first or second round is a really nice like winner and round bet. Eduardo Moria 1 or 2. I just can't see her Murphy taking 15 minutes of damage. You know, I think she might need that second half of the second round. I don't know if she gets it under 1.5, just because it's really tough to. Yeah, but like, come on, man. Murphy's 41 and she's going in there against somebody that's on an absolute heater, 10 years younger than her. Yeah, this does not have a good outcome involved. I think she can get one mistake in a bad position, just get tripped up. Like you ain't 36 no more. So Moria all day. Banger welterweight matchup. Jake Matthews, 21-7 versus Chidi Jonaquani and Jaquani, 25-10. Both guys coming off a win. And Jaquani's 4-inch on the height advantage, 7 inches on the reach. And you watched any Jaquani fights recently? I don't know how you're gonna fade him. It's a pick 'em, and I think he's money right now. I mean, Matthews just has to knock him out. That's Matthews' win condition here, and I understand him being a pick'em at a knockout condition. I don't really think he volumes Chidi with his Muay Thai and his clinch work with the striking advantage. I'm thinking Chidi's going in some stuff this week. I think there's a few opportunities to you know, really just absolutely get on more of a streak here. I mean, 2 of his 3 losses are to Gregory Rodriguez and Mikhail Olasejchik by finish. Other than that, my guy's been on a heater. Exactly not the best competition. Tordorovich, Marc-Andre Barrial, Reese McKee, Jared Gooden, Ezekiel Zalikas. So not exactly the cream of the crop, and a bad loss to Albert Duravev. But I think Chidi's turned the corner. I think he's really hitting his prime. I think he knows his game plan a lot better. And I think Matthews is just super punchable, dude. If you ever watch Jake Matthews fight, you're just like, dude, how does this guy win some fights sometimes? And I'm a big Jake Matthews fan. But sometimes, you know, he's got to be better than the guy. Prado, Phil Rowe, Darius Flowers, losing to Semley, Feely. But he hasn't been challenged, bro. His 2 big losses, Brady and Moreno. Morales and Sean Brady. Other than that, you know, those guys are good fighters, but it goes to fights he should win. I'm not sure if he should win against Chidi. I like Chidi here in a pick'em. I like him heavily in a pick'em here at that price point too. I just think his clinch work, his Muay Thai, he can get him with a knee, he can get him with an elbow, he can get him at range. I think I might get it done late. I think Matthews is for sure pretty strong in taking it like round 3. I don't think he'll get finished like that. I think he'll take a lot of damage, but at some point, if he gets caught cleanly and he goes down, Chidi's going to be right there. He's either going to be in clench or at distance, ready to pounce in there. So Njokuani, I like all day. Let's go, baby. Feature prelim, Max Griffin versus Chris Curtis. Griffin 20-11 coming off a loss. Chris Curtis 31-12 coming off a loss. 1-inch reach and height advantage for Griffin here. And you know, Chris Curtis coming in as the favorite. And I think way better in terms of class as a mixed martial artist. 37 years old though, not fighting for a while. Lost to Roman Kopylov right at the end. Not a big fan of that. Plus the Brendan Allen loss. I'm really worried about his mental. So I think Max is live there for a mental win. Curtis has really not been on a good run of form there in a while since the Buckley knockout. So, but that saying, Max Griffin is a little bit older with him, and I just think if this is going to go to decision, which is very much likely to deep into the 3rd round, I just think Chris Curtis is a better fighter. So, yeah, I just think Chris Curtis is, I mean, and Griffin just, I think this one goes to the card. I think that's a really good one. I just think, I don't even know if I want to pick a winner. Just this fight to go to decision, match that with a couple other things, I think is a real life. I mean, Griffin got finished by Chiesa. Other than that, he had like 5 straight, decisions. And Curtis, I guess he got finished by Kopolov in his last fight, but other than that, a bunch of decisions too. They had the Nasruddin Imavov, like I said, since the Buckley. So these guys are very likely to go to the card. I like that a lot. I think it's gonna be a very close, greasy fight. Max Griffin could come up with a win here. I like plus 3.5 for Max Griffin here, but I'm gonna pick Chris Curtis here just to bounce off a rebound. I just think he's a way better fighter, dude, and I just think he's gonna prove it to himself that he's a way better fighter and to the world. Let's go, baby. Interesting light heavyweight fight here. Junior Tafa versus Tuco Tucos. Junior Tafa, not Justin. 6-3 coming off a win versus Tucos 10-5 coming off a win. And yeah, I think this is a spot where I kind of like Junior Tafa here. The fight night punches against Sean Sharaf. I don't even really remember that fight. Dude, at this point, he got finished by Walker and lost to DeLima from ground kicks. He's been super active. I think this is a spot you got to take Junior Tafa. You got to take a flyer on him. I've been down on the Tafas for hella long, and I think this is the redemption arc starting for them too. I think Junior going down the light heavyweight, going to be a little bit slimmer on his feet and fighting a guy that he's going to be honestly bigger than in terms of just instead of just, you know, especially when they balloon back up. Maybe not in terms of stature, but in terms of just, bro, there is at least plus 10% for being where he's from, dude, down under. So I like Tafa here a lot. I think he can get a finish. I don't think it really goes late. I think he does. I don't think this goes to the scorecard, but I think he can get a second, third round finish. I think Junior in the second round is where it ends. I just think at some point between minutes like 6 and 9.5, like Tuco's just going to take some damage. They're not going to be moving around enough. So something like that. Tafa second round is money. I'm taking Tafa over here, and I think he's an underdog too. So no, he's 166. I'll take it. Let's go, baby. Next up, heavyweight bout: Victor Petrino versus Austin Lane. Petrino 11-2 versus Lane 13-6. Petrino getting knocked out by Jacoby. Lane coming off a loss too. And by God, I hate this fight in terms of having to pick somebody. I don't even know, man. I really want to pick Austin Lane here. His only win against is Robalis Despensage, who might be one of the worst freaking fighters I've ever seen in terms of like complete game. I just think Petrino gets him by knockout at the end of the day just because he's better at range, and Lane has a super hittable chin. He does not move well at all, even though his last 2 losses are by finish, and now he's a minus 700 favorite. Oh, man, I guess I got an anti-fade Petrino where I want to just pick against him and go, Lane's got a chance, Maybe you just got to double down on this guy coming off 2 losses. Just going to pick up a KO win at some point just because Lane just takes some damage. If he works the body at all, he's just going to open up the head and I've just seen Lane crumble at some point, and I'm really rooting for him. I'd love for him, but I mean, Lane can take him down and control Petrino. Dude, my guy can make a mistake and get choked out. That's for sure, man. The loss to Anthony Smith is like literally, you're like, how? And then the guy just gets clean knocked out by Dustin Jacoby by a straight right in the 3rd round. Like, what are we doing, bro? So do you think Austin Lane can wrestle him for 3 rounds? I kind of think it's a potential, bro. This guy has showed that he doesn't have the biggest fight IQ, makes some mistakes, and if he gets gassed out and tired in the 2nd and 3rd round, even if he unloads in the 1st and loses the last 2 because he gets taken down and is off balance, he recovers and Lane just kind of sits on him, does a little bit of damage. I can definitely see that super live. I think that's probably something I would hedge on, is Lane by decision, because I think that's probably what he has to win by. I don't think he really has that KO potential, 1-3. I think he really just has to get that unanimous decision win. Like I said, I think he wrestled Robalis Despensage, and he's got to basically make that somewhat of his identity in this fight. Because if he's going to stand and throw with Petrino, he's probably just going to get folded at some point. In terms of just bodywork, volume, and if there's no threat to him, then that's where I think he's negating his biggest chance to actually get the dub. So it really just comes down to game plan and any mistakes and any big mistakes and the IQ of the fighter to what they're be able to behold. Because minus 700 for a guy coming off 2 straight finish losses, it's like, by golly, Like, if you think this guy's not, like, got a chance to lose again, I mean, you got to just, if you watch his fight, bro, the guy just makes some mistakes in there, dude, just walks into finishes. So I don't even think that. I just think he can make a mistake, he could gas himself out in the first round, just being in a good position, get taken down in the second, just have no gas tank, taken down in the third, and he's out of there. Lane gets a career-defining win. Let's go. But we're picking Petrino KO. God, dude, I almost talked myself into Lane there, but Petrino KO. Next up, featherweight fight. Nate Launder versus Morgan Charari. 18-6. Launder versus Charari. 20-11-1. The KO loss to for Launder to Choi. Who the fuck did Morgan lose to? The flip. Nathan Wood, unanimous decision. I can't remember if I called that or not. Yeah, this is a Morgan Charari spot all day. Nate's got to knock him out. If Nate's not knocking the guy out, he's just going to get pieced up. Morgan Charari by decision, just maybe even like 30-26, something nasty. I think he can really 10-8 him in some rounds in terms of volume if Nate keeps walking forward. I don't know if he's really got that finishing ability. We really haven't seen too much in terms of like, it's been super interesting career. You know, he had lost to Wood, not the best look. Wood's not really the most elite striker. The Gabriel Miranda fight, Gabriel Miranda is just a walking freaking KO because he just loves to try and go for the sub and thinks he can strike to get there. And then Cheppy Machine Gun Mariscal, there's no doubt that he's good. Lost there, split decision, was very, very close. So I like Morgan, the last Pirate, to come back here with a nice win. He just kind of has to, and I think he gets it by decision. I don't think he really pushes the finish. I know he probably wants one on the record and maybe could get one, but that being said, I really like Morgan Charari to get that dub there, to maybe take it late, maybe round 3 KO, round 3/decision for him. I just think Nate's win, it has to come big. It has to come early. And if it's not, then he's probably just going to get pieced up over time, dude. I mean, yeah, I mean, it's tough, though, because he's got, like, Ludovic Klein finish. The guy's crazy, but, you know, he also lost to Herbert Burns on his record. So who the frick knows what to do anymore? Let's go Morgan, the last Pirate. Move on, ladies and gentlemen. This one I find interesting matchup. Featherweight foul. Calvin Kattar versus Steve Garcia. 14th ranked Kattar, 23-9. Coming off a loss to Sterling at 300 was the last time he fought. That's crazy. Steve Garcia, 17-5, coming off a win. And what do we do here? What do we say? No, he lost to Zala in February. It was Kattar's last fight. And I think that's kind of got to be how does the grappling game? Does he stand and bang with Steve Garcia? Is that really the plan? I mean, I want to pick Steve here. Really, really, I'm on the Steve bandwagon. I think we're like 2 or 3 straight wins with him. Maybe even I don't even know. But like we've been riding on the Steve train for quite a while. Even bro, I'm picking Steve Garcia here. I'm not even calling it close. Kattar's got to prove something to me when he's proved absolutely nothing to me at 37 years of age. Steve Garcia getting a featherweight ranking would probably be one of the biggest surprises, but if you go check out my featherweight video, link in the description, I think I got him on the prospects to watch. His step into the rankings this year, so let's see how that shakes out. Boy, oh boy, I like Steve Garcia here, taking my guy Calvin Kattar's rating, slight favorite. Man, is it going to go to the scorecards? Steve's just got to get the finish, dude. He's just got to do the damage. If he loses, he probably loses on the scorecard. 7-7, right? No, that's Kattar, man. So I think Steve is just it's his time, man. It's his time. If you don't get this win, take the ranking. That's your story at featherweight. You're not going up either. You're not exactly. I mean, 6 foot is pretty big to get down to 145. That's actually kind of crazy. But you know, he's also not the most athletic guy, but he's got super good technique. He's got a great will, and I'm going freaking Steve Garcia all freaking day. Let's go, baby. Mean Machine. Next up, co-main event, welterweight bout, Steven Wonderboy, 17-8-1, coming off a loss versus Gabriel Bonfim, 17-1, coming off a win. Who did he win against? There was the Chaos Williams, Darce Choke, Angelusa, And against Wonderboy Thompson, and maybe his last fight, I really want to pick Wonderboy here. I actually think I may because I'm just on the I call him bum theme, dude. Bomb theme. Just on the fade. I think he's overvalued. I'll never forget him just wilting in that second round against was it Battle? I actually just had it up and I put it away. But yeah, I think I might take my last chance to pick Wonder Boy here, and a chance that I actually want to pick. He lost to Dalby. I'll never forget him just losing to Dalby. Same situation. His entire career, he's basically been a massive favorite. And can Wonder Boy do the damage? Can he be tough enough to out? The thing is Wonder Boy going to get taken down and just get grappled? Like, is that really going to be the situation in his last fight? Like, I can't imagine his karate being so bad that he's willing to take a fight. I mean, dude, I'm literally on the edge of taking Steven Wonder Boy Thompson here. My record, if you see, is embarrassing right now from last week. Boy, oh boy, do I really? I'm just going to pick Bomb Theme. But dude, I really do think Wonder Boy has a chance to win, especially 3 rounds, karate styling him up, keep it very close. But I know the judges really like Bomb Theme too. I also think Wonder Boy kind of has to get that finish. He's gonna have to get like some nasty ass damage done, really compromise Bomb Theme, and win majority of the fight. He's gonna have to win the minutes and the moments. And I just don't think Bomb Theme has shown that he has to lose a moment to lose the fight. Otherwise, he's pretty good at winning minutes overall, right? Like, because he was winning. He was crushing Dalby, and then he took damage and just got absolutely folded. But other than that, dude, he's looked really good the last couple of rebound fights, and I've kind of faded him there, too. So I don't really want to fade him one more time just because I kind of do think it is the time to kind of go back and revert on him. Like I said, there's so many massive favorites in the pick'ems this week, and this is one of those other ones, minus 425, where I'm just like, dang, bro, like I'm not exactly sold, but I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna pick Bomb Theme here in the co-main event because when I bring you the main event, I'm gonna go. I think I'm going with the underdog in there. Go Bomb Theme. Then spoiler alert, main event: Derek Lewis versus Talishin Teixeira. Lewis 28-12 and won no contest versus Teixeira 8-0, 4-inch height advantage, 4-inch reach advantage, and I just think at some point Derek Lewis is going to get in the pocket, touch this man's chin, and put his absolute lights out. I go Derek Lewis by KO here, and if he puts on a snoozer, then oh freaking well, I don't care anymore. My man hasn't fought in a minute, so expect him to be a little bit hungry. I don't really expect Teixeira to take him down, kind of dominate him anywhere there. I'll probably keep this main event short and sweet on the. I don't think there's much to break down here. I think it honestly could be a 57-second fight. Well, it was the Nascimento 49-second fight. Like, it honestly at any point could be something like that. We're one punch away from this fight ending with by Derek Lewis. And in a 15-minute fight, if he's not going to get taken down, I'm really going to take the chances of Derek Lewis just absorbing. Dude, my man is one of the most freak of nature, strength human beings I've ever seen. Just go watch Derek Lewis compilation of getting down from takedowns, getting up from takedowns. I think he's arguably one of the strongest men to ever have donned the octagon. And I think at some point he touches this guy's chin and absolutely sends him on a stretcher. I think Derek Lewis by knockout. I think he could get it late. If this thing got 5 rounds in on it too, like you understand, like giving Derek Lewis 5 rounds to work is just utterly insane. So yeah, unless he completely gives up in some of those other fights, but like that's Almeida Spivak. You know what I mean? I'm gonna tag him for a rebound here and another big win. I got Derek Lewis, man. I think Teixeira is a little overvalued at minus 200. I get that, he looked good against Justin Tafa, but again, anybody looks good against Justin Tafa. Revenge of the Tafas, though. Junior's coming back. Other than that, he hasn't been tested. Derek Lewis has been in the deepest, darkest waters of the UFC and has come out like a freaking beast, man. So I just think if you're going to make my guy go 5 rounds, like my guy is not used to getting out of the first round. Like you're telling me he's going to finish Derek Lewis in the first round, get to the second, third, even the 4th round? Hell no, bro. Give me Derek Lewis under 3.5 for sure. Derek Lewis by KO. Is this guy really going to wrestle? Like 1 submission win? I don't even know what that looks like. Any grappling, 0 in the UFC. He's got. Bro, I just think Derek Lewis at plus 200 is silly, and he's going to get the win here. I think he's going to finish my guy. A freaking heavyweight main event. That's like, dude, come on. Derek Lewis all day. I really don't feel that. Within a bunch of big favorites, probably not many upsets on the card. There are a few spots where I do think some upsets, and this is my number one upset, I think, just because I like Teixeira a lot, but he hasn't proven nothing to me to be a minus 200 favorite against Derek Lewis. Like I said, he's literally just one overhand right. This guy's punching a straight cross, and Derek Lewis just in the pocket eating it, and he's just going to freaking come across, knock him down, and just beast on him, dude, Donkey Kong style. Let's go, Derek Lewis. Do a little quick recap here. I don't know if this is going to be the official order, but we're just going to rock here. Starting off with Fatima Klein in the women's strawweight division, big favorite, just going to rock the chalk there. Mike Davis, big fan, Mike Davis. Rock the chalk there. I like Walter Walker. Probably could get a sub in there and win by decision and takedowns. Eduardo Moria finishing Lauren Murphy. I really like. Chidi and Jaquani over Jake Matthews, any which way. I really like that one, especially as a pick'em. Chris Curtis over Max Griffin, but could be definitely going to the judges' scorecards. I'll go Junior Taffa, second round over Tukos. Sweatiest one of the night, Petrino versus Lane for minus 700 versus Lane. See how the takedowns work out. Morgan, the last Pirate, probably by decision over Nate Launder. Steve Garcia, really love him over Qatar. Very close matchup, sentimental for Thompson, but taking Bum Feem and Derek Lewis in the main event. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for supporting. Like, comment, subscribe. Leave every one of your winners in the comment. Pick every fight, and I'll send you $100. Thank you guys so much for watching. Again, take care of yourselves, your families, and your friends. Have fun watching the fights. And peace and love, everybody.